I would normally begin this video at the table, but it's going to begin here. I spilled right there, and it went down into this rusty burner, and it went through that hole in the center of the rusty burner. That it's, I think it's supposed to be there, but it's an opening. So the soup went down in there, so I'd have to like clean it out. But it's rusty right here, so I don't clean that. I don't want any cockroaches in the kitchen, but that's too late. There are cockroaches in this apartment because it's been, there have been other tenants in this apartment. Do you call somebody a tenant when they're a visitor? What if you didn't invite them? Can you call them a tenant? Okay, this fork, I used it to mix the soup base was stuck together. The powdered part was sort of solid. I tried to break it up with this fork because it says use a whisk, and I don't have a whisk. So I used this plastic disposable fork, and it looks like that from the side is like I wouldn't want to eat with it because it isn't the shape of a fork I would use. And then the prong right here, and here, there's the widened space here. And then this one's a little closer to this one. So it's not even. It might have just been too hot, the soup, when I was on the coil right here. Okay, the fork might have touched the bottom of the pot, and that was too hot for the fork. I don't know, but there's like, you don't want that in your mouth, but this is like not a wooden spoon either. I could use that to stir it, but it's not a wooden spoon either. I don't need the tongs for the problem. I don't need these tongs either for the soup. But somebody bought me a new pot. This is new. I really like it. So I used it to pour the soup out this way. And I did it with my right hand. And then I spilled because I'm left-handed. But I didn't do it with my left hand because I used this burner over here, the right burner. And I would use the left burner, but it's too close to the wall. Like if you turn the pot handle this way, that's too close to the wall. And this burner is maybe too big, too large for the size pot, that size pot. And if I had to clean up something, it would go down there. I don't know how to clean that up, so I stay away from this side. I want to clean up the bowl as well because it's spilled down the bowl right here. Because I wanted on camera that it's clean, but it didn't turn out to be a direct pour clean. It did spill, so I'm showing that it spilled. I have shouted about this soup mix, that I don't want it. This brand is what I shouted about. I won't say which mix because I know it's Bear Creek. Okay? I poured in the whole package into this pot, and I used half the amount of water because not all of the water will fit in the pot. And then I saved half of it here. And then I need to add another bottle. Wow, that smells like plastic. This is my first time doing this. It does smell a little like plastic. Well, it shouldn't. If it tastes like plastic, I'm going to throw it away. Yeah, but I don't want to use 2 bottles of drinking water and throw them away. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that tomorrow. Or maybe not. It depends how this goes with this bowl of soup right here. I'm going to try and eat it because I made it with bottled water that I would drink. Or I would eat it with soup that I would eat. So I'm going to try. I don't know these bubbles right here. They're not like boiling, you know, and that's not soap suds. So I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to complain because I'm old. The food supply is really old. So as long as it's still like I can eat it, I will eat it. But I'm just letting you know that I think there is maybe something is not quite right about that. So this is the part of the pot right here that pours, or on this side. You can pour it on this side too. It doesn't know, or because I'm left-handed, would pour it this way. I would not pour it that way, but I did because of the wall. Yeah. I need a burner that's not in a stove, and I need a big countertop and everything really clean, and I can use the burner, and I don't have to worry about any on any side of the burner. This is a stove that comes with 4 burners, and it's this complicated rusty problem right here. I also used this spork because I was angry about the fork being melted or, out of shaped there, out of form. And this is a spork I don't want to eat with because I don't like sporks, and I don't like the way that it touches the sides of my mouth. It gives me like, I don't know, like it feels rough on the sides of my mouth until I feel like my mouth gets a little red on the sides, on the corners of my mouth. I don't like that. So I don't want to use the spork for that reason as well. But I've eaten a lot of food in my life. I have to eat. I must. And I have eaten with sporks plenty of times. It's just that I don't really need a spork because I am the one who eats. And nobody brings me a regular fork is not due. So that leads me to this problem. I did not open this yet. There is a seal right here, right there. I didn't open that yet. It has a fork that's regular fork, and a spoon and a knife, and it's clear plastic. I don't want to open it ever because it's not served with food. Somebody brought me this and told me to serve myself from what? I just don't have any plates for that. They didn't bring me plates for this. Oh, well, who does that? I can eat out of these bowls. They come in little bowls. The Marie Callender's comes in little bowls, and I can eat out of them, but not, it would be like making a mess. I put the Marie Callender's in this, and I use this to eat Marie Callender's because it's how I keep the mess in the bowl, and then I clean out the bowl, even though I don't really want to use it because it's just been here, it's leftover. Charles Toe did hand me this spoon, but I was the one who asked for the bowl. So he gave me the spoon because I was already using the bowl. I just took it. Yeah, I know he knows I've been eating for years, but I guess at the end here, he's not doing, like, he lost a lot of height. He lost some 5 inches of his height or so. And so he's not really the same as he was before, which was not good because he lost his height. Should have been immediately, and I don't really know him. He should have lost his height before I ever met him because of what he planned to do to who? Yeah, we don't know, but I don't want none of your time, Charles Toe. So that's that. I have one more thing to say about beefy minestrone. This is served in looks like a coffee cup or a tea cup or whatever, like a mug with a handle that you would pick up to drink out of it. And that's soup with the spoon right there. That's the spoon. So that's a little wrong to me. I wouldn't want to do that myself. If this is a serving suggestion, I would suggest the company remove this serving suggestion because it's not due to suggest to serve this soup this way. That could be the close-up of it, but I don't know. It looks like it could be a bowl, but it's a thin-lipped bowl, if that's true. That's thin. Yeah. And upright and up. It could be it could be either a bowl or a cup like this. Or if this is for a bowl of soup, why does it have this to pick it up with this? Why? Why? So I don't need that if that's a bowl, but not really. It looks like a coffee cup or a teacup. So that's no for me. Bear Creek. I want to compliment the chicken soup I had by Bear Creek. I would try this same method of cooking, preparing the chicken Bear Creek soup. Somebody gave that to me. One of the first delivery of food that I got from a supermarket to here for me. The Bear Creek chicken soup mix was good. This is minestrone. I don't know how to say. I didn't ask for this. I'm usually not eating meat, so there's no real meat in here, but there's meat stock in here. Or what do we say? Chicken fat. Okay, right there. And beef fat. I don't really eat that. Beef stock. I don't know. It's not a tomato-based minestrone. Okay. I'm not really picky because somebody else is paying for this. I don't have any banking and I am cooking for myself. So I just wanted to say to myself, deceased, I don't afford to be on YouTube. It's true that I don't have leverage to be here anymore, and I'm due homeless and deceased, but I'm being held and alive by the upper order, which is deceased, outside homeless on all the points, and I do know that I am myself deceased that way. So what am I still doing here in the door locking in the formed world? Well, I'm still working that out with that. I never really sanctioned this to happen to my housing and to the door locking. This doorknob has been replaced, and it was not reported as broken by myself. This is the new one, of course. The old one is removed, but I didn't know there was something wrong with it. I was surprised when I found this was replaced. This looks to me to be the same, and the key still fits. So, the the smell of this soup that I just boiled and heated up is a little too strong. Whatever this smell is, I just think it's a strong smell of this soup. I have to taste it to see if I like it, and I'll do that later.